The young girl possessed a jade bracelet that granted her repeated rebirths. This was already her 6th life, but she still couldn't escape the tragic fate. After refusing the marriage proposal, the prince held enduring resentment against her. Just then, the maid burst in a panic. The girl asked her if her family had been framed again. However, the maid didn't understand why she said again. The next second, the maid was also killed by the prince. The prince blamed the girl's refusal for the tragedy, but she smiled, grabbing his dagger and stabbing herself hard. She vowed that in her next life, she would change the tragic fate. As another crack appeared on the jade bracelet, the girl was reborn. With the bracelet nearing shattering, she understood this might be her final chance. After finding out the current time, she urgently wrote a letter. In a few hours, the prince would come to kill her family. The girl ordered her maid to send the letter to the grand tutor. Though confused, the maid went out. The girl waited anxiously at home. However, what she waited for was not a reply, but the arrival of the evil prince. The prince seized her hand and sniffed it intoxicatedly, praising her for smelling good. Then he ordered the execution of her family on the charge of corruption. Recalling every time her parents were killed by him, the girl's eyes filled with hatred. But the prince reveled in her defiance. Just as he prepared further threats, an arrow forced him to release her. The girl turned around, and saw it was the grand tutor. He was the minister most trusted by the emperor, known for his arbitrary ways. More importantly, he and the prince had long been hostile. The girl ran over to thank him for his assistance. She trembled with fear but forced herself to calm down, which touched the grand tutor. He ordered the execution to stop, saying the emperor had handed the corruption case over to him. The prince was furious, but he couldn't defy the imperial order. He could only watch as the girl left with the grand tutor. In the carriage, the girl said she'd had a prophetic dream, which was why she'd written to the man for help in advance. This sparked the man's interest, and he ordered her to stay as his maid. The grand tutor's mansion was undoubtedly the safest place, but the girl knew she wasn't fully safe. The prince had already bribed her maid, planning to frame her and get her thrown out. On this day, the girl noticed the tea her maid gave her was drugged, but she pretended not to know and drank it, then went to attend to the man's bath. She deliberately moved close to him and touched his muscles. The unusual behavior immediately caught the man's attention.